So we're gonna do something different. Um, we for a long time, my son, who is sitting here, his name is Kier. This is kind of gonna be our introductory to a podcast, kind of a live series to kind of talk about some of the things that we've dealt with as a family. A lot of people don't know Kier has Asperger's, right? And was diagnosed with being on the spectrum years ago. So for a long time, we have gotten together, and he's like, "I want to do a YouTube. I want to do a YouTube," and never follow through with it, right?
I'm actually setting it up right now.
Okay, well, he's setting it up right now. So God gave me just a vision last week. So I got on TikTok and I started ordering these microphones, and I've got some other stuff coming so that he and I can actually set up a podcast together. So this is kind of a surprise for him. In this moment, Kier does not live at home. And so I went and got him because I wanted to begin to document our journey. So I'm asking your permission. We're going to record, we're going to edit, we're going to do all the things. Um, is this something that you would want to do? Tell me why. I know I'm throwing you on the spot, but this is kind of how it's going to be. So tell me
Mm,
why you would want to do this.
Casey's really cool,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll probably give me like give me if I like give me more voice to like open up about stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Some things like that, what you've been through, we've been through.
Or
Okay.
just don't like never share.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you guys remember, because the other twin, which is behind the camera, he's gonna be our cameraman. We're gonna get him together. So because this is a family situation, and you remember Lexi and Nisi, right? Okay. So we were at the salon, and we were just talking about things happening in life, and so they came up. Nisi came up with some ideas, right? So some of the things that we're gonna end up talking about would be some title ideas, um, being a single Black mom with a child on the spectrum. I've always said, there are some cultures who are like, oh, having a child on the spectrum or special needs, whatever that looks like, whether it's Down syndrome or whatever. Oh, it's a blessing. You know what I mean? For me, to be very transparent, it has not been a blessing. This is not how I thought my kids would be. We've dealt with some things that are very real, that are very painful. So as this vision came, maybe to bridge our gap, I'm like, this could actually be a moment where we start healing our relationship, healing our family, right? So that eventually I can look back and be like, it was all on God's time. It was a blessing. So some of the topics that we discussed, and I want to make sure I discuss it with you, is being raised different, loving harder, because in there have been moments where loving each other harder doesn't look typical. It doesn't look um, like society thinks that it should. Do you agree with that? Um, Going beyond the labels, trying to get him to understand that um, you're more than just what they put on paper. We're at home right now, first episode, so yes, the dog is up here and it's fine. So going beyond what the labels look like for him on paper, um, and showing unconditional love even in the turmoil, right? Because in this moment, this is kind of a situation where we haven't even spoken since he left for real. So we are going to together decide what the formats will be. We're going to decide if this is a platform where we want to do this live and be real transparent, or if we want to do some editing, do some cuts, film it, tape it. I feel like I am praying that eventually we'll get there. So again, I always want to make sure that my son is okay with everything, because from my mom's perspective, there are going to be some things that are going to be very tough to discuss. You're going to see a lot of tears because for me, there's a lot of hurt and there's a lot of pain that has occurred. And I'm a firm believer of dealing with it so that our relationship, and I'm not just talking about his and I's, all of us as a family isn't as estranged as it is. I am 1000% firm believer in family. And right now, my family is messed up. So, is there anything that you want to add to this? Is there anything that you want to see from this?
Mm, kind of like healing.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
it.
So we gonna ask that y'all keep us in the prayers because I'm excited. I'm excited for this because again I'm looking forward to healing. And if nothing else, we can help somebody else. I always reference a couple of years ago there was this video uh that people were sharing, and it was this little boy. He was a black child. And he was running around the barber shop and people were sharing, and the mom couldn't control him. The barber was kind of patient. Some of the barbers in that barber shop was like, man, little boy, you're not gonna disrespect your mom. He bad, he bad. My heart ached for that mom because for a mother who has been on the opposite side of the spectrum with a child whose IQ is 110, whose IQ is immaculate, but we have the behavioral piece. We have the behavioral component that I related to the video because my son was that child. My son was the one who couldn't handle the stimulation from the clippers or the sound of the buzzing, who we had to hold to get his haircuts, or who could have just been overstimulated. So when I saw that video, honestly, I used to cry. I used to be so sensitive. I used to cry because she was younger, so I get it. Sometimes we're just not aware. Some things aren't just off, right? For me as a single mom, I knew from day one there was something special about my son. Couldn't pinpoint it at the time, but that video resonates with me because he was that kid. He was that child that would run around screaming. He was the child that would run around and hit or throw tantrums. So this is our life. We will name it. We'll figure out what it is. And if you know me, I'm super personal. Like, I don't live on social media as a lie. I'm super personal. You get what you get. I give you enough to make you think you know me, but this is our life, and it's going to be very real. Uh, so I do ask. We are going to put the links in that you tune in and you continue to bear with us because we don't have a media team. We're just doing this off of the strength of this is what God wants us to do. And at any point in time, He feels or I feel like the Spirit is telling me to do something different, I will cut it. um, because this is not to hurt anybody but our family dynamic, which includes my mom, my two other children, Cameron, who is a 20-year-old college student at the Kentucky State University, and my son, Kevin, who is actually Kier's twin, believe it or not, who is behind the camera scene. So this affects us directly. So I want to make sure that everybody is okay with this. So bear with us. I look forward to it. Kevin, do you have anything you want to add to this while you're here?
Uh, as long as I see that it's like that we see growth from it, yeah, that's it.
You're good for it?
Hmm.
Okay. All right. So the kid, I always call him the kid. The kid wants to see growth. So I'm excited. I don't know when I'm gonna put this out here. It is actually today is January 17th, 2025. And I'm waiting for some more equipment to come. I'm waiting to actually find out where we're gonna set up. Right now we're at home in our living room. But again, I want this to be transparent. My other tripod is coming in, but we're gonna have some people that have been through um, this walk of life with us, and it's so many of you. We've got to get waivers together, but I can name a few like Carrie Leak. She was our DI interventionist when we started First Steps. Those people that we still are in contact today. Um, that has played a very instrumental role in our lives. We have a lot of people that was at Conway Middle School who saw firsthand in what our situation is like. And I hope that I don't ever paint a picture that is pretty, because it's not. But sometimes I'm just not going to put my bad days out there or his bad days out there. But if you ever been inside of our home, um, or talk to him or talk to me, that we struggle a lot. Um, so with that being said, this is going to be our first introduction. We'll sit here and come up with a name and a plan, and prayerfully we can definitely heal and bond, and if nothing else over this, right? And then maybe help some other families that are out there that deals with this side of the spectrum. So thank you so much for tuning in. Again, we're going to share his personal link. Click like and subscribe. So have a good day.